Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyra Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today is November 3rd. We are in this Taurus full moon energy. We're not fully at the full moon, but we're basically there. You know, we're just pretty much there. I wanted to log on today to share with you a message that I shared on my Facebook page. And on Facebook, you can find me at The Oracle Speaks. You could even go to facebook.com/The Oracle Speaks, and I posted the video there. But I wanted to share it here on YouTube also, because it actually it was very well received. So what I want to ask you today, and this message is for anybody who is wondering why they cannot get ahead. If you're wondering, what's holding me back? This is for you. My question for you is, are your relationships helping or hindering you? Because what I am learning is that we must take stock of the relationships that we find ourselves in on a daily. Well, we have to take stock of the relationships that we find ourselves in with people. And we are constantly entering into relationships with people. So this is something that is very important. And what inspired this is me thinking about a situation in which I'm looking at this person and I'm thinking this person really and truly has a lot going for them. But what I see as their biggest downfall is their inability to see a relationship that is horrible. It's anchoring them. Not only is it anchoring them, it's actually causing their lives to decay. Now, I took a course back when I was working for the Bureau of Alcohol and Drug Abuse Services. And one of the things this man talked about in this class, he was talking about his dealings with people who had drug and alcohol addiction. And one of the things he talked about was people who typically fall into drug and alcohol addiction have the inability to negotiate relationships well. And the way he described it was primary and secondary relationships. The primary relationships initially off the bat are those relationships that are our family of origin. But people who aren't, you know, we're not in the same family, we don't have the same blood, they can become primary relationships. Just about everybody else is going to be a secondary relationship. People we work with, people who we interact with on a daily basis in our community, jobs, all that kind of good stuff. Even to a certain degree, just our circle of friends would be secondary relationships. But the problem is we have to learn how to negotiate these relationships. And the way I look at relationships is I have circles. I have, you know, it's one that's closer to me and then it goes out and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you know? And so we have to learn how to move relationships in and out based on our assessment of, are these relationships helping me or hindering me? Now, one of the things that's important to do is to, first and foremost, you have to have a vision for your life. You have to have a vision for what you stand for. And, you know, this full moon in Taurus, we have to look at our values. We have to look at our self-worth. We have to look at how we want to flow in life. And so when we have established this is who and what I am, and this is why self-realization, self-mastery is so important, because we want to be clear. We want to be clear about who we are. We have to do this unveiling of ourselves. This is our life's work. Do the unveiling of who we are. Are we walking the truth of who and what we are? Or are we living a superstar made up existence? And that's what we're putting out there. That's what we're focused on. That's what we value. Whatever it is, the best thing we can do is to be clear. I like the word that people use a lot nowadays. We need to be self-aware of ourselves. Once we are self-aware and we are clear, we're crystal clear, this is what I stand for. If you don't do that, that's your job right now. That's your assignment. You need to just bottom line it. I stand for honesty, justice, integrity, arts, whatever it is, harmony. I'm listing all of the things that we think about with when we're thinking about spiritual qualities. So we need to be crystal clear about all of that. We also need to be crystal clear about what are our goals, what are our objectives, what is it that we're working on in life right now. We must be crystal clear about that. One of the things I remember when I was in the midst of having to assess relationships and learning the importance of doing that is I would tell people, let me tell you something. If it doesn't have anything to do with my family, because that's my number one job, I was crystal clear. Nothing is going to come before my work as a family woman. In particular, homeschool some days is what my focus is, what I would tell people. If it doesn't have anything to do with me homeschooling my children and edifying that, I will not do it. Don't ask. If you ask, I'll tell you no. Getting clear. My goal in life is not to necessarily be friends with people. My goal right now in life is to homeschool my kids. That's just where I was at that particular point. And so that's my goal. That's my vision. That's what I had set forth. That's what I still have set forth. So you have to know, what are you working on? When I was working on becoming a certified group fitness instructor, I had to study for a test. I have to tell people, sorry, not doing it. Studying for my test. I'm becoming a group fitness certified instructor. No, I will not. Why not? Studying last year. This year, I was studying to become a health coach. It's hard studying for these tests. And I would just have to tell people, I won't do anything. Don't ask me to do anything. My goal, my objective in that moment was to become a health coach. So when you know what your goals are, everything should point in the direction of those goals. Everything, including your relationships. And so we must take stock on a regular basis of the people that we're hanging around, because whatever they're doing, we're doing, whether we're doing it now or not. You hang out with people long enough, you will become one with those people. That's just how it is. And so you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people, first and foremost, who are going to support you in being the truth of who and what you are. Are the people you're hanging around saying, yeah, do you, boo? Do you? I like you. I like the way that you are. Even if I don't fully understand you, I support you in doing what you do as you do it, as you. Ask yourself that. Are the people you hanging around, are they vibing the real you? Or are you finding that you are having to lower your standards in order to maintain a certain group of friends? Are you finding that you're lowering your standards in order to fit in and to hold on to people? Maybe these people have been around for a while. They were your best buds in some hard times. Baby, we evolve and grow. It's not all meant to last forever and always. When a relationship is old and decaying, the best thing you can do is bless it and send it on its way. That's something my Babaji said. You bless them and you send them on their way. And so, this is something that's very important, because you want people to support you in the truth of who and what you are, and you want people who will support your goals. Are your friends saying, yeah, I like that goal, go for it, I understand if you can't hang out with me right now because you're busy. I understand if you have to go make some new friends and we can't hang out like we used to because you're trying to get somewhere and you've got to hang out with people who are doing what you're doing. The real friends are going to say, go for it and tell me how it's going. The real friends are going to say, what can I do to help you? Let me tell you about the people. And some of these people might be a significant partner. Some of these friends might be blood relatives, going back to what I talked about before. Learning how to negotiate these primary and secondary relationships. Learning when to demote somebody, be it, significant partner relationship or blood. You have to learn when to demote these people. You're getting demoted. You're getting moved into an outer circle. You can't be in this inner circle. And so some of us are hanging on to these relationships and it feels like dead weight. These people are doing nothing to help us in our growth. It's just, I say to you, ask yourself, if you're carrying around these dead relationships, this dead weight, what's in you that you would allow this? This goes back to what I talked about before. Perhaps you might be having a self-value, a self-worth issue. Perhaps you are afraid to make changes in your life, to move forward in your life. And not feeling worthy to have more. Perhaps you have a false belief within you. It could be some form of programming that was placed there by you or someone who gave it to you. You took it, dropped it in your consciousness, and it became one with you. That says you're less than, you're not worthy. This is all you are good for. Okay? Whatever it is, maybe you're acting out what you saw happen when you were younger. The people in your life, the relationships in your life. And so here you are acting it all out, like so many of us do in this space-time continuum. We deserve Oscars and Academy Awards for the roles that we play. Oftentimes what we are... Thank you, Fabby Flam. For the roles that we play, we deserve Academy Award. It's because we are playing these roles. We're living these things out. We saw it happen back then, and here we go. We're doing this thing. There's so many different reasons why some of us are walking around. I wish I had some bags. Just being bag ladies. Just being bag men, just carrying. Some of us even have them on our backs. We're just carrying them. This is what I do. I don't know why this person won't get himself or herself together. Every time I turn around, I've got to take care of this person. Every time. And this person doesn't do this. And then we go and talk about it. Now, I'm telling y'all this because it's based on something that I'm witnessing here locally. None of my business, but I'm witnessing it. But I will say I'm privy to hearing these conversations. This person, they don't bring anything to the table. I'm doing everything. Well, we have choices. We live by choice. If I choose to carry you as dead weight, guess what? You're not going to hear me complain about it. All right? There are times when it is okay to admit I am staying in this situation because I'm not ready to leave it yet. I feel at least being aware, and I've talked about one of the keys to self-mastery is awareness. I am aware that I'm in a bad relationship. And so I choose to do this. It's for a reason. I will let it go when I don't want it anymore. Even if I see that it decays my life, at least I'm going to watch, awake, and aware. But most people, that's the problem. We're not that aware. So it's so important for us. astrologically speaking, to do an assessment and reassessment of the relationships that we find ourselves in. And just like we choose to be in horrible relationships, we can choose to be in beneficial relationships. I am one who will say, I do not connect with people. I love everybody. Let me start off saying this. I love people. I was thinking about it last night. I'm just one of those type of people who you're going to see me talk to everybody, be connected to everybody. I respect so many people. Oh, thank you. I love you, Kwanubian. I respect everybody. And so I'm a humanitarian. Let me say it that way. Personally, in my own life, though, I am very selective about who I hang out with because I'm clear about who and what I am. I can be in a space, but when the people I choose to hang out with, trust me, these people are going to have to meet a certain standard. That's just how I'm going to roll. That's the decision I've made. I choose to hang out with quality people. You can choose to hang out with quality people. I choose to hang out with people who talk about the things that I'm interested in. I choose to hang out with people who, if I talk to you, I'm feeling like I'm moving in a direction towards my goals. Even if I'm talking to you about your stuff, you may say something that inspires me to move in the direction of my own goals. It doesn't even have to, I don't even have to have a discussion about myself. I can be inspired by someone else's life. So just like we can choose to have horrible relationships, we can choose to have positive relationships too. And that's what I'm asking you to do. To use your relationships as an opportunity to look at the mirror of your own self, because the relationships you're in, they are in fact a reflection of you. And at the end of the day, the ultimate relationship is with the self. Okay? So make sure that you have a deep relationship with yourself. That in turn allows you to move into a place where you consciously choose relationships that edify you, that continue to help you to grow and evolve. I will end with a Ma'at statement that is so true. That at the end of the day, we give thanks for those who we love, who cause us to expand, to grow, to be all that we are meant to be. And we give thanks for those that just make us feel like, ugh, I don't like this person. At the end of the day, it's all you. It's all about you. So even if we find ourselves with this dead weight, even if we find ourselves hanging out with people who we know something ain't right with them, there's a purpose to it all. So don't judge it. Don't judge yourself. You know, it's all about the bigger picture of your life. It's all about the greater lesson. And perhaps, and I've talked about this with radical forgiveness. I haven't talked about radical forgiveness in a while, but with radical forgiveness, maybe, just maybe, your soul has conspired with the other person's soul that's holding you down in order to teach you about whatever that lesson is that you need to learn. And the nice, loving people, they couldn't do it. You need somebody that's going to help you get, as I said about Scorpio season, down and dirty. Get a little bit of a broken heart, some eyes swollen from crying, and you're frustrated. A lot of times that's what moves us to growth. Okay? So we give thanks for all the relationships, but baby, let me tell you, when you're ready to come up on high, choose relationships that edify you. Choose relationships that help you, that benefit you. I am Tyra Omi Lade. Yes, sister. Woo! One of the ladies just commented, these relationships, sometimes they're like, woo! But before I end, what I will say is, Once we have perspective, I'm so glad you said that, because I did not add this very important key, Quanubian. Once we have perspective, we will give thanks for those people that, the negative ones, because you always need a backdrop in order to really see what's going on. If everything looks the same, you cannot know what's really going on. You really can't see it. You have to have contrast in life. But what I have found from a relationship that just really had me all torn up at one point, once I actually started looking at this from a spiritual perspective and really understanding that the negative relationship that I experienced with this person was about me and how it showed me where my areas of weaknesses, and that I grew in such a way that I never went back there again. I gave thanks for that experience and to that person who I thought I actually hated. I actually felt deep, deep gratitude, and it all melted away. And so the lessons are tough and they are hard. But once we get to the other side of the mountain, guess what? We give thanks. My name is Tyra Omilade, your Goddess Guru. Thanking you for tuning in today. Please like the video, share the video. And if I can divine for you on your behalf, please let me know. If I can divine for you, I would love to do that. GoddessBodyMindSpirit.com. Just go to my spiritual reading page, and I will most certainly respond to your request, and it will be an honor for me to go to the oracle on your behalf. Thank you to all of my friends who tune in and encourage me. I appreciate you. Y'all have a wonderful day, and happy full moon in Taurus.